In this lesson, we're going to look at creating a collectible. So the collectible that I'm going to create is just a gold coin, but you can have multiple different ones. It's really up to you. So what we need to do first is let's open up level 1 so we're ready to go on that one, and let's create a new scene. So the collectibles have to go in a new scene. You can reuse the collectible as much as you want, but putting them in their own scene is the first objective. So we click on the scene button, we say new scene, and then from here we actually want a different kind of node. The node we want is an area 2D. This allows us to collide with the object. So we're going to press on this plus button, and we're just going to type the word in area, and the one we want is this blue one down here, area 2D. So just double click on this, and then from here I'm just going to rename it coin. If you're going to have multiple coins, you can call it bronze coin, gold coin, whatever. Okay, for this I'm just going to call it coin. So capital C. Okay, fantastic. So we have our coin set up. The next thing we need to do is add a sprite. So we're just going to click the plus button again, and we're going to type in sprite up here, or you can just select it from down here, either which way. So just double click, and then we have our sprite. And then finally, we're just going to click back on this top node, and we're going to add the collisions. The collision that we need is called a collision shape 2D. So press the plus button again, and start typing collision. And there it is there. So collision shape 2D. So it's this one here that we want. So double click. Now what we need to do is add the coin. So I've gone ahead of time and I've downloaded the coins from the Google Classroom. If you've got the Kenny Deluxe pack, they will be in the items folder, and you'll see all three of these coins. The one that I'm going to bring in is just the gold one. So before we do that, I'm just going to come over to my images folder, and right click and then create a new folder. So say new folder, and I'm just going to call it collectibles. Okay, and then press OK. So now we should have, if we go into the images, we should have one called collectibles. Fantastic. I'm just going to drag this one into that folder, and once again, if you're going to do multiple collectibles, you can definitely have all of them. So now we have the coin. We need to click back on the sprite, and we're going to load it into this texture here. So I'm just going to click and drag and then drop it on the texture. If we zoom in, you'll notice that we have our collectible here and it's almost ready to go. We just have to create the collision for it. So if we click on where it says collision shape 2D, now the one we want is the where it says shape, and we're just going to change it into a circle. Now what I tend to do with this is not take it all the way to the edge, just take it slightly short of the edge, and I might just need to move it so it's more central. And that way the player can actually just walk a little bit into it before it collects. Makes it look a bit more natural. So let's just make sure we save this scene. So it's called coin, and make sure it goes into this folder. Press save. Fantastic. Now what we're going to want to do is make sure that when we move something, it doesn't all kind of separate. So on this top layer here where it says coin, the button we're going to press is this one here. It says make sure objects children are not selectable. Okay, so now whenever we move something, one of these nodes, everything moves together. And then finally, we're just going to create a script ready for the next lesson. So press the script button, make sure it's called coin, go into the folder, and then we just need to make sure it's in the script folder, make sure it's called coin, press open, and then press create. So once again, let's just save scene. And then I'm just going to say save all scenes, just so we're in a good place with that. Before we go any further, I'm just going to add one coin to the level, just so we can hover over it and see what happens. At the moment, nothing will, but eventually things will start to kind of take shape. So all we're going to do is on our level 1, we're just going to add a coin here, okay? So the button we want to do is we want to make sure level 1 is selected, and then we want to press this link item, and this allows us to link a scene. And the one we want is this scene, this coin scene. Press open, and if we zoom out, you should see that the coin is all the way over here, and we can just drag that to where we want to put it. Okay. If we just save scene first, so save all scenes, and then if we just press the play button, and let's see what happens. So far, you probably can't even walk through it. You'll probably end up standing beside it, or you can actually look. So nothing happens there, but once we start Once we start scripting it, you'll be able to collect that coin and it will all be good. Now, if you don't want it to go in front of the character, you can also change its position. So for instance, the coin actually goes in front. So if you moved it up to this point here, when you go over it this time, so now when you walk over it, you should walk in front of it, okay? And that just makes it look a bit more natural as well. Okay, so get that part done, and then in the next lesson, we'll start thinking about scripting.